Now, some of you are deciding, yo, Anna, a whole year, that's a lot. That's a lot to commit to. What if I hate it? What if I don't like it? Like, hi, Dumelang. Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, I really do appreciate you guys. And if you are new here and this is the first time that you see my face, hi, hello. My name is Annah and I am an English teacher here in South Korea. Guys, today we're talking about the EPIK contract. If you want to know a bit of nitty-gritties of what's in that contract, we're talking about leave, we're talking about termination of your contract, resignation, sick leave, special leave, code of conduct, working hours. We will be covering all of that. So if this video is for you, please do give it a thumbs up. When it comes to the EPIK contract, you guys will be able to see a sample of the contract on the EPIK website. I will leave a link down below where you can click it. It will take you straight to the site that obviously speaks about the contract, your duties, you know, things that you got to know about a day-to-day life as an ESL when it comes to the contract and your responsibilities at school. And you'll be able to see a sample of the contract on there, and it will go into more detail than what I'm going to do in this video, because I know you guys don't want to be sitting for an hour listening to a contract. I'm just going to highlight the important points in that contract. First point that we're going to talk about is working hours. So you need to work 8 hours a day, and this 8 hours includes lunch. So you need to work 7 hours a day, and then you get 1 hour for lunch. So 8 hours a day, those are your working hours. But it doesn't necessarily mean that for those 8 hours you have to be physically in the classroom teaching. It just means that's 8 hours that you are at work. You'll find that sometimes you'll have 1 class, 2 class, 4 classes, 6 classes in a day, and then for the rest of the time you'll just be in your office or in your classroom or wherever it is that they've put a space aside for you to sit and lesson plan or chill, whatever. But you need to work 8 hours a day. Now, I said a day, so does that mean Monday to Sunday? No. So working week is Monday to Friday. We don't work weekends on the EPIK program. No weekends. If we're saying you need to work 8 hours, that means you're working a total of 40 hours. We're looking at 40 hours per week. Again, you guys already know that you may have more than one school, so you may be required to spend certain days at a specific school. Now, let's speak about salary. So the salary on the EPIK program, you usually get paid on the 17th of the month, but you'll be able to see in your contract, it will state which day of the month that you get paid. So that's the day that you'll get paid, and don't expect to get compensated for other things that are not stipulated in your contract. You may ask, Anna, is there overtime pay? Yes, your contract does talk about overtime and the conditions that you'll be paid for overtime, but it's not something that usually happens, so I don't necessarily want to go into it. I haven't done overtime in my entire year's contract. There was no OT. But if you want to know about it, it is definitely in your contract. So when you get your contract, you can look at it, or otherwise go onto the website to look at the sample and see exactly what it says about overtime. Awesome. Now, resignation. So obviously you all know that you are signing a year's contract to be teaching English here in South Korea. It's 1 year. Now, some of you are deciding, yo, Anna, a whole year, that's a lot. That's a lot to commit to. What if I hate it? What if I don't like it? Like, don't let it stress you out. If you hate the job and you hate being in this country, it is not the end of the world. You can always terminate your contract and go back home. Now, when it comes to resigning, you need to give your school at least 60 days notice that you are resigning. And this notice needs to be in writing. You need to give a detailed reason why you are resigning, as well as your date of resignation. So this is normal for any other job that you have. You always need to give a written notice that you are leaving. So it's the same thing here, but it needs to be 60 days. If you do not give that 60 days notice, there will be repercussions. And one of those repercussions is your school can report you to the immigration office, and they will make your life difficult for coming back into the country in the future. So please give that notice. Your visa will be terminated. So just know that when you resign, your visa will be terminated. obviously, because you don't have a job, or you will no longer be working at your school. So why would they still give you that E2 visa? They will terminate it. Remember those benefits of arriving in the country? They give you an insurance allowance, for the flight coming in or just coming into the country, insurance allowance. They also give you a settlement allowance. Now, if you want to know those benefits, exactly how much it is and what they are, I have recorded a video on the benefits and the salary of EPIK. I will leave the link in the description box or somewhere up here. But yes, guys, those benefits, insurance allowance, settlement allowance, you will need to pay that back because now you are terminating your contract. Those benefits are for having a contract with EPIK, with South Korea, to teach. So if you're canceling it, why would you be able to still be able to keep the benefits that come from having a 12-month contract? If you don't see the 12 months through, you need to pay what you owe. Okay? Now, exit allowance, a bonus for completing the contract, and also renewal bonus for renewing your contract. Those benefits will be forfeited, obviously, because you're not seeing this contract through. So that's what you need to know when it comes to resigning from your job. Cool. Next one, we're going to talk about annual paid leave. I get a number of questions around leave where people are asking, Anna, can you go home during your leave? Is your leave when there's summer vacation and winter vacation, do you get that whole vacation off? The answer is no. So for annual leave or vacation, we only get 26 days. At least that's what it says in my contract. I got 26 days. And on the sample contract on the website, you'll see it says 26 days. So you get 26 days, working days. So this is excluding weekends. 26 working days that you can take leave. Now, you guys already know that summer vacation, winter vacation, these are usually month-long or 2 months long. So if I can only take 26, does that mean I take 26 in summer and 0 in winter, or 26 in winter, 0 in summer? No. So you get 26 days of annual paid leave for the entire 12-month contract. You decide when you want to take those 26 days. So it can be during summer, it can be during winter, it can be during both, it can be throughout the year. You'll just need to submit that leave, giving the school at least 15 days prior notice that you'll be taking this leave. They'll need to approve it, and then you do what you got to do, what you want to do at that time. If it is to go back home, to go travel, whatever it is, you can do that. It's your time to do with whatever you want with. It's leave. Just like your job back home or in America or wherever you live, it's normal to have a contract such as this that will state that you have these amount of days of leave, and you would need to submit your leave with a specific amount of notice. You put in your leave, the school will approve or decline. That's normal, same thing. Next, we're going to talk about sick leave. You do also get sick leave. The amount of sick leave that you get 11 days of paid sick leave. So if you were to take annual leave outside of the 26 days, it's going to be unpaid. Just like with sick leave, you get 11 days of sick leave. If you take more than that, it will be unpaid. But you get 11 days of sick leave. Now, with sick leave, you need to notify your school at least an hour before your work shift starts. So if you're supposed to be at work at 8 o'clock, you need to let them know at 7 o'clock, at least the latest, an hour before your shift starts, to let them know that you will not be coming to school, you are sick. Let's say you are staying home, you're not feeling well, you're staying home, day 1, day 2, you stay home. If it exceeds 2 days, if you are now going into 3, 4, 5, 6, you need to give them a letter. You actually need to go see the doctor, and the doctor needs to have booked you off. But if it's less than 2 days, you don't need to have a letter for your sick leave. That's also normal. I had the same conditions with my job back in South Africa. It was the same thing. Then what else you guys need to note? Oh, that letter, obviously you need to make sure that when you come back to work, your doctor's letter, you must submit that. What happened with me is one day I wasn't feeling well, and I stayed at home. I let my teacher know, but I let my middle school teacher know, because that was the day that I would spend at middle school. So that day it ended up being an unpaid sick leave because I didn't give my notice to my school, so they actually took that day off my salary. So please, if you have more than one school, whether it's 4 schools, 5 schools, 2 schools, you need to let your main school know. But also, let's say that day that you're off sick and you're at your other schools, you obviously need to let those other schools know that you're not going to be there that day, that you are not well. Also, let your main school know as well. So everybody is aware and in the loop, and you don't get your money subtracted like I did. It ended up being an unpaid sick leave because of that thing. Yeah, so that's why it's important. What else? Okay, cool. So that is sick leave. Next, we're going to be talking about special leave. So with special leave, we're talking about marriage, death, things like that. Special leave, things that you need to take leave for that shouldn't fall in those 26 days. It should be special and on its own. You get 5 days. So if you are getting married, you get 5 days of special leave. And if it is the marriage of your child, so if your child is getting married and you want to be there for your child's wedding, then you get 1 day. If you are a father, paternity leave, you get 5 days. And if you are taking maternity leave, you get 90 days. But please note, of this 90, the first 60 days is paid. The 30 days is not paid. It's 90 days of maternity leave. The first 60 days are paid. The last 30 days are unpaid. These 90 days, it does include Saturday, Sunday, and it does include public holidays. So don't think it's just Monday to Friday. With the maternity leave, they do count Saturday, Sunday, and national holidays. Please look at your contract. Make sure that you look into your contract so you know what these things mean and you understand it thoroughly. Next, we have when it comes to death. So if it is the death of your parents, or it's the death of your spouse, or even your spouse's parents, you get 5 days. If it is the death of your child, or your grandparents, or your spouse's grandparents, you get 3 days of special leave. If it is the death of your sibling, your sister, your brother, or the death of your spouse's siblings, you get 1 day. So those are the amount of days that you get for special leave. It doesn't have special leave for the death of an aunt or an uncle or a cousin. No, we've got siblings, child, spouse, grandparents, parents. We don't have uncle, aunt, cousin. You'll then need to either take it under your annual leave, so out of those 26 days, or take it as an unpaid leave. That's for you to decide, but that's what happens in those circumstances. Next, we're going to talk about the code of conduct. Every workplace has a code of conduct. A school in South Korea, EPIK, is no different. There's a code of conduct which you need to abide by. So you need to behave in a manner, if you behave in any manner that tarnishes or damages the reputation of a teacher here in South Korea or of your school, then there can be some serious action taken against you. So you need to make sure that you comply with your school's code of conduct, but also the dress code of being a teacher at your school. You also need to dress appropriately. Next, this one is important. In the code of conduct in your contract, it will specifically state, and I'm going to read it word for word, just to show you guys I'm not paraphrasing. It says, the employee, the EPIK employee, EPIK teacher, shall not engage in any other employment, be it part-time, private, self-employment, online instruction. They shall not engage in any other employment during the term of the contract. So that means during your contract with EPIK, with your school for that 12 months, you cannot have any other work, whether it's teaching English online, part-time work, private work, self-employment, you got your own business, you're selling something. This is what your contract states. And if they find out this is what you're doing, you are breaking your contract, which means you're also breaching the terms of your visa. Yeah. Next point that we'll be covering in your contract is indemnification. So what that means is the compensation for harm or loss. So all of you will need to pay a security deposit of 300,000 for the first 3 months of being here. So the first 3 months of being here, you're going to pay 300,000, 300,000, 300,000. So in total, 900,000 Korean won will be put down as a security deposit. Remember, you get accommodation when you're here, so you have to put down a security deposit, and you can just pay them 300,000 for 3 months. And if you were to damage the place that you live in, the appliances that you've been given, they can then take that to cover the costs of those damages. So make sure that you also take care of the home that you've been given to stay with, and you take care of the appliances and things that they've given you. Otherwise, you're not going to get that money back. Now, if you want to know, okay, Anna, when do I get that 900,000 won? You get it back at the end of your contract. So once your contract has ended, within the 2 months after the contract has ended, you will get your 900,000 Korean won back. They will pay that back to you after they've checked that there hasn't been any damages or harm or loss to their property. Awesome. So those are the main things that I wanted to discuss with you guys when it came to the contract. If you are wanting to do a bit more of a deep dive, you can do so when you get your contract. Guys, have a look at your contract. Make sure that you understand everything that is in that contract. Yeah, because once everybody is signed, that is the contract. Thank you so much for watching if you got to this part of the video. If you have any other questions pertaining to the contract, please do note it down below, or go onto the EPIK website and have a look at the sample on there, or look at your own contract to get a full understanding, and to also read everything else that I have not discussed with you guys in this video. But yeah, wherever you are, have a great week and a lovely weekend from me to you. Bye.